Everybody, really warm welcome. Especially welcome if you're a small service business owner. What I hope is that you are here because you're frustrated or confused. Maybe you're even worried about money. You're exhausted perhaps. But you're here to learn how to grow your business with ease and grace into something that you love and that gives you the money and the freedom and the time for the life that you want. So a big warm welcome. Thank you for giving up your time to listen to this training. There are big insights here for you. So what I want for you is fulfillment and joy and the freedom to build your business exactly as you dream it. When you've connected your passion, that's your special talents and the things you really care about in the world, with a real and pressing need in the world, what comes next is to build the business model that serves your desires and those of your customers so that you can leave behind struggle. If you're passionate about your business and you want to grow it, and you know your offering would solve a real and pressing problem for your customers, and you want to have customers who are aligned with your values and your purpose, that means customers you love serving who become raving fans. But you're working long hours and you're not seeing the results you want, or maybe you're not sure what to say or do to attract these great customers. Or maybe you don't even connect with the customers you do have in a way that's meaningful. Or you're frustrated with the response to your marketing efforts, and you feel you're wasting your time and your money with your current marketing, which means you might even feel like giving up on some days. If you relate to any of that, you are in the right place because you can rapidly grow your business. This is not a false promise. Many of my clients have. So, what I'd love you to do right now is to take a piece of paper and a pen and write down why you decided to attend this training. Be very specific. Exactly what is it you want to take in, to learn? Exactly what would make spending this hour on this training really worthwhile? Having a clear intention and being purposeful increases the possibility of you getting what you want by a very significant percentage. So please take a deep breath and decide what the best outcome would be for you from attending this training. Take a wee pause just while you write that down. And I'll tell you why I'm passionate about this topic. We'll run for about an hour. I'm going to outline the 5 big mistakes most small businesses make so you can finally understand why yours is still small and what you can do to break out of struggle once and for all. I'll give you lots of examples so you can see and hear what I mean, so that you can relate it to your situation and so that you can know what action to take. I'll cover some of the common fears and misconceptions that many people have. Maybe some limiting beliefs that might be that are no longer serving you, so you can let them go. I'll help you understand the impact and the cost of making these mistakes, some of them rather surprising. You may be shocked even at what has been holding you back, but once you see it, it doesn't have to hold you back anymore. And then I'll suggest what you can do differently, and I'll let you get some help from me if that sounds valuable to you. Building a business that you love is about much more than just building a business. It's about serving the people that you love to work with and building the life that you want. I have created a business and lifestyle I am passionate about. I love supporting my clients, and this year I bought my dream yacht. That's it in the picture, on which I spend my weekends and which I intend to do some serious sailing in soon. So I encourage you to turn off your multitasking distractions and really be willing to focus. I don't want you to write down what I say. It's way more powerful if you write down your questions and what you intend to do, your actions. And I've got a tip for you. I'll be sharing one thing that changed my business life forever. So I'll share that with you. So in this hour, I'm going to help you understand what to do. And I'm not going to leave you high and dry knowing what to do, but not knowing how. I've got an offer you might want to consider to help you do what you must to achieve your dreams. But why listen to me? Well, I do have years of experience building businesses. I've started 3 of my own business, including this one, all whilst bringing up my children, and it hasn't been easy. The cost in terms of time missed from family, holidays, those sorts of things, weekends, evenings, is quite big. And I remember one time my son said to me, "Mum, you know, when you're working late, I really worry about you." Whew, that was hard to take. So, how did I get here? Well, it certainly wasn't only at university when I did my postgrad degrees, including a master's in business strategy. I spent 10 years working in yacht charter in the Mediterranean and in the Caribbean. And the winters were spent back at the boat show in London and on the south coast of England at Southampton, selling the holidays. It was very glamorous and fun. I loved it, but that's not the point. The point is, why did the companies want me on the boat show stand? And the answer is because I knew what the potential charterers needed to hear to book their holidays. I knew the exact words and images that would have them drooling and signing up. I also knew what they feared and had all the answers to their objections. I knew the customer. I could sell a yacht charter holiday almost better than anyone else, and certainly better than the people working in head office who were not close to those customers. I once calculated that I sold over 16,000 charter holidays. And that's why both companies wanted me to go and work in head office, but yeah, I didn't want to do that. That's another story. I applied the same thinking when I was head of the School of Performing and Screen Arts. I worked out what the potential students wanted and needed to be successful in a rapidly changing industry, and I built a program that delivered that. And I knew what they and their parents, often the funders and decision makers, needed to hear to apply for that program. That is, to apply for a program that was twice as expensive as its competition. I grew that school 19.6 year on year for 12 years in a row. It continues to be the school of choice for contemporary dancers in New Zealand 15 years after I left it. And again, I applied the same thinking when I started an art dealership for contemporary Pacific artists. I saw an unmet need in the market and built a business with a database of over 4,000 people, 72 suppliers from all the Pacific countries, when the leading competition, who'd been in business for 25 years, had less than 1,000 on their database and only 25 suppliers. But, and this is a really, really big but, that success didn't happen when I started my coaching business. When I started my coaching business, I didn't have a coach helping me. I bought a franchise and I was trying to copy someone else's business model and work with clients I wasn't passionate about. Doing it all on my own meant I took many wrong turns. It just wasn't working. I felt bewildered, alone, and completely burnt out. One day, when I was about to sign a lease on an office I didn't even want to work in because the franchisor wanted me to do it, I realized that the solution was to do what I taught my clients, to listen to my own teaching. I sat down and I basically worked out the principles of this program. Essential principles I'm going to teach you. Principles that will save you hours and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Principles I wish I'd known and applied when I started out. And I say applied because I had known them, but I didn't apply them in my business until that morning, sitting with the pen poised on the office lease contract. Knowing stuff and applying that knowledge are two different things. Only applied knowledge leads to success. So I also did a huge amount of research before creating this training. I researched internationally and locally. And whilst my language may be slightly different, every single marketer agrees that knowing who you want to serve with your product or service is the central question around which all and every marketing tactic and strategy must revolve. Knowing who you want to serve with your product or service. So, what are these 5 big mistakes that I've identified? I'll take you through them one by one. The very first mistake is not identifying why you do what you do. So not being clear on what you want your business to do for you is the mistake that is often your complete blind spot. The first question to ask when starting any business is, what do I want? This sounds really basic, but many business owners I work with have not taken the time to think this through. Let me give you an example. A few years ago, I worked with an engineer who, after a few years of working in a workshop, engineering workshop, was given the opportunity to buy it. So he and a colleague did. They went to the bank, borrowed the money, and they went into business. And when they called me in, they were working long hours, including weekends, but not making any net profit. Yeah, some gross profit, marginal gross profit, but no net profit. And when we did the what do I want exercise, James realized that he did not want to be working these long hours, and he did want to make a profit because he wanted to hold his head up and be proud. He wanted a business that was fun, profitable, and he could be proud of. Those three things were what he wanted. One where he worked 40 to 50 hours a week, had time off to spend on his hobbies and with his sons. That meant a complete change to the way he thought about his business model. He found himself in a situation that was not what he wanted. All the responsibility and none of the fun or the results. Have you ever had this thought? My responsibility, but no fun. An accountant might describe this as no achievable profit objective, and this is a big part of it. However, it's also important to know what role you want to play, how much time you're prepared to devote to the business, and how many years you intend to do it for, and how you want to feel. That's what James realized, that he wanted to have fun and feel proud. Have you ever been in a situation like this when you ask yourself, how did I get here? How did I get here? It could be in a relationship, a new job, or a new house. If you don't know what you want, there's no foundation on which to build your business, and you will allow it to grow like topsy, kind of any which way, without structure, without form or direction. So what's the cost of this mistake number one? This not being clear on what you want your business to do for you. Well, you'll end up with something that isn't what you wanted. You'll not be getting what you want in your life, and you'll have wasted the opportunity and possibly a good part of good many years. Not knowing what you want means you build the wrong business model or business structure and end up, as I say, with something that doesn't give you what you want. You've spent years and you've created your whole business around something that completely drains you, brings no joy, when you could have been doing something that lights you up and brings total reward and fulfillment. All right, so let's look now at mistake number two, which is not identifying why you do what you do, specifically why. So if Steve Jobs taught us anything about marketing, it's that people buy why you do what you do. This mistake might be described as running a business tactically rather than strategically. It's really about values and purpose, and it forms the backbone of sales and marketing language and systems. And I liken it to the process of romance. Would we romance any woman or bloke? Really? Would we? I don't think so. This is what happened when I started my coaching business. I was not building it from my personal big why, my own purpose. And it got harder and harder to get my prospects to buy from me. So let me use the art dealership to show what happens when you get it right. I started that business with a partner because we wanted the world to see contemporary Pacific art for what it was. Real art, equal to Western art. We wanted Pacific artists to earn the same sort of sale price as Western artists. This big why gave us the language to attract both artists as suppliers and customers who held a similar aspiration. It gave us the language to connect. It informed our customer relations, the way we set up the gallery, our systems, our marketing style, and contributed significantly to the rapid growth of the business. Just like romance, We like to do business with people we like and trust. We like people more quickly and easily if they are a bit like us. That is, they share the same values. They want to live in a world similar to the world we want to live in. And we can trust them to behave in ways we approve of. Another example is a web development company I worked with. They identified that the reason they wanted to work on the web is that they loved it. And they loved traveling, and they saw it offered the opportunity to be global, a global business where they could travel. They identified their purpose was to work with businesses building global e-commerce. The fact that they loved what the web made possible gave them the language and a culture and a sales process that attracted exactly the right kinds of prospects. And they grew very rapidly once they established themselves as experts in that arena. Here are some things you might notice if this is the problem that you have. You get distracted by every prospect or opportunity that comes your way. You don't seem to have the right language when talking to prospects. You're not able to really identify with your prospects and help them understand why buying from you is the perfect solution for them. These are symptoms you can look for if you are making this mistake. What this means ultimately is that you lose the trust of prospects, making the sale harder, if not impossible. You lose out to someone who truly does understand what matters to your prospects, and all of which means lost revenue and lost opportunity, and of course, reduced profit. So take a moment now, please, and ask yourself, can you clearly articulate why you do what you do? Why you started this business? Okay, so mistake number 3. This is probably the most common. Trying to be all things to all people. What it means is your marketing will be costing you a fortune because you think everybody is your customer, but it's certainly not delivering you one. And even your sales process will have so many holes in it, prospects fall through like water through a sieve. What is it costing your business to not narrow your focus to your ideal customer? Let's take the example of a hairdresser. When I go to the hairdresser, I want to be reminded of my appointment, offered my preferred day of the week, and I want to be pampered. I want the cup of coffee, the head massage, the special magazine to read, the best products, my hairdresser, not just any hairdresser to cut my hair, etc. So I have found a hairdresser whose systems and processes are specific to those wants. Obviously, I pay for all these services, but my sons, they just want $15 at the barber's and out of there fast as. This is a really obvious distinction I'm making there in the hairdresser example, but it illustrates the point clearly that we must write marketing copy, create our sales process, build our systems, establish standards, set pricing, all for our ideal customer, or they will not want to do business with us. They might come once, but they won't be able to come back, and they won't be able to refer because they won't know what you actually offer. They won't be able to say, she's perfect, my hairdresser is the absolute perfect hairdresser for you. Systems and processes in a business, including your sales and marketing, are the basis of building the relationship, the basis of your customer service. They reflect values, wants, needs, and desires. So the effect of not knowing who you really want to serve is no alignment. And no alignment means it's hard to attract prospects. It's hard to make the sale. It's impossible to establish a long-term relationship, and you'll get limited or possibly even no referrals. An ideal customer will not be attracted to you, and you'll be making offers to prospects that are all wrong. Plus, increasingly, your business systems and processes will become fixed in ways aligned to a non-ideal customer. You and your staff will find it harder to sell to ideal customers. You will experience frustration with your marketing efforts. You'll be wasting your marketing money. And worst of all, the ineffective marketing will be eating up any profit you might otherwise have made. And finally, developing new products or services that are easy to sell will be difficult because you lack the understanding of what your customer or prospect wants next. And that's essential to doing this part successfully, to developing new offerings successfully. So mistake number 4, trying to make the sale of your core product or service too soon. Trying to sell the wrong thing at the wrong time. Not knowing what problems your ideal customer needs to solve in what order. Often we have the ideal long-term solution for our customers, but that is not what they need right now. Here's an analogy from baseball. We all know that in baseball there are 4 plates. Well, maybe that's a stretch, but I think we know that there are 4 plates in baseball. And the objective of a batsman is to get a home run. Yeah, that's a run right around the 4 bases to home plate. Hitting the ball, apparently, is optional. I think you can drop it right there and still if you can run that fast. It's likely that you have a core product that you want your ideal client to buy. And hopefully it has lots of margin in it. And once you sell one to a client, you know, they're happy and you're happy, etc. And you can go on to sell to the next client and the next client. The idea here, though, is to work with reality as it is and not as we would love it to be. And what I mean by that is what people want to be real is for lots of customers, lots of ideal clients buying their core product now. And if any marketing activity is happening, then it's mostly directed at trying to get people to buy that core product. This is like asking, you know, your customer to step up to the home plate and hit a home run, 4 bases, you know, with 0 other options. Imagine how nervous you would be if you had never played baseball before and the rules were that you could not stop at base 1, 2, or 3. You had to hit a home run or nothing. You know, and that's often what we ask our customers or clients to do when we only offer them our core product to buy. So instead of fighting reality, we work with it. Yeah. After extensive research, the American Marketing Association discovered that it is 5 times easier and 80% less expensive to sell a product to an existing customer or client than it is to sell to a new client. So let's give new clients a first base option, a product that is so inexpensive and so jam-packed full of value that when they look at it, they think that's a great offer and the money is no obstacle. So once a new client is happily enjoying the benefits of your first base product, it's relatively easy to upsell them to a second product, and so on and so on. What I'm talking about here is that your customers or clients have a pain, an immediate pain that's keeping them awake at night. And we need to develop something that solves that, takes that immediate pain away. That's the job of your first base offering. Take away the immediate pain. So, you know, sometimes we think that the purpose of a customer is to get a sale. What I want you to do now is to think rather than that, to think that the purpose of a sale is to get a customer. So the purpose of your first base offer is to get a customer to whom you can sell again and again. Someone who will learn to know, like, and to trust you. They'll buy again and again. Someone you know so well that you know what to offer them next. So they stay for years, if not a lifetime. They're so happy with you, they refer friends and colleagues. An example might be, I'm a marketing strategist and I can help you build your business exactly as it needs to be to give you what you want from it. You know, I'm a business strategist. But if right now all you need is more customers to increase your cash flow, that longer term goal is not in your sights right now. What is in your sights is the pain of not having enough customers. And that's why I'm doing this training and why I've built a program to support you, my ideal client, to become more financially secure with a steady stream of new customers. Later, you may be interested in exploring with me what else I can do to support you to build the business of your dreams. On the way, you will have learned to know, like, and trust me. What this mistake means is that customers will not see what they need right now. You won't be talking to their immediate pain, and you're not offering them a solution to it. So they'll walk right on past your offering. You will lose them, and it's highly unlikely that they'll come back. So not only have you lost the immediate sale, you've lost the customer. You've lost the opportunity to sell to them again and again and again. Definition of a customer is someone you confidently expect will buy from you again. All right, time to look at mistake number 5, giving up. This mistake is the one that really gets to me. It tugs at my heart, because I see, dreams of a great business dashed by giving up, people giving up. And I see it lots. And I know the financial, social, and family implications of this. Often we give up on a dream when all it needed was some fine-tuning, perhaps some specialist input, with that little bit of guidance. What this looks like is you're not getting the quality of customers or making the profit you want. You need to raise your price, but you're afraid to do it. Asking for the sale is difficult and often unsuccessful, and you begin to dread making those sales calls. You're losing out on repeat and referral business. Your team find it really difficult to understand why you want them to do things in a certain way. So establishing systems and standards is much more difficult than it needs to be, and you may experience high staff turnover. Trying to be all things to everybody, you can never become the one expert, the go-to expert in just one area, the solution provider that people turn to. So if you're not the expert, why would anyone come to you? It'll mean you are constantly reworking, customizing, etc., and the cost of this in time and resource is massive. Your pricing strategy is wrong. Price is very important, but being the cheapest or the most expensive is only important if it's important to your ideal customer. Your marketing is simply not working. You're possibly marketing in all the wrong places, spending too much and not getting the ROI you need. All this means you're working too hard, too long, for too little return and too little joy. Life's too short for that. So you'll be living in a fairly constant state of overwhelm and anxiety. Perhaps you don't think you're close to or ready to give up, but you're thinking you really, really want this to work. But how long can you go on working like this? At some point, things have to change. It has to start working. It's such a bummer. And I don't believe you're a quitter. That's why you're here. That's why you're still on this training. So take a moment right now and answer the question, how long can I go on like this, stressed and exhausted? 6 months, 1 year, 5 years? Giving up is a mistake, because sometimes all you need is a little help. If you're close to giving up on your business because you think you've tried everything and nothing has taken off as you had hoped and dreamed, please stay on the training, because a complete turnaround in your business is possible. The first step is to simplify everything and get clear on exactly what you want, and be willing to identify and serve only your ideal customer. Band-aids on the symptoms simply won't work long term. So what are some of these symptoms? Let's just recap. Not knowing what you want means you've got no structure or plan and you don't know what to focus on. Not knowing why you're in the business you're in leads to difficulty in articulating your marketing message and not getting customers. Not knowing who you want to serve leads to poor marketing results and low sales. Selling the wrong thing at the wrong time results in poor customer retention. Giving up, failing to commit, high staff turnover, or they're just not engaged in your business. They're not with you. They're not helping you. So let's have a look at what some solution might look like. We've covered the 5 mistakes. And I'm also going to tell you that number one tip I promised to give you, the one thing that transformed my entire life as a business owner, that can transform yours and give you back your weekends and your evenings. Decrease your stress around your to-do list and increase your productivity 20 to 30%. And if you've already got your evenings off, you can take Fridays off if you like, or increase your income by 20% by working that day. But let's just take a moment to look at what we've learned so far. Just shifting these 5 mistakes around can make a night and day difference in your business. You can probably see some places in your own business where you can see room for improvement by looking at these 5 mistakes. I hope you've taken some value from that. You now have some pretty powerful knowledge to make significant shifts. And even if you take nothing else from this webinar, you'll start to notice as you go through your days, you'll be more alert to things, ways you may be making these mistakes. And if you keep learning these learnings in mind, you will naturally find yourself adjusting course. And the problem is that many business owners stop there. They gain some awareness about areas they need to tweak and improve, or even totally redo. But what happens is when attempting to fix each of these areas, they do it in the wrong order and they end up spinning their wheels, wasting time, putting band-aids on bleeding wounds. It's difficult for you to see your own situation. And if you do the steps in the wrong order, you end up in the same situation, only more confused. And you'll have spent all the time and energy and money for no long-term success. Even I found this when I bought a profitable business with all the systems that should have been plug and play for profit, but it wasn't. I was missing steps in the process. Yeah, I didn't know the right steps to take. I didn't work from my big why. If you're not careful, what happens is you end up focused on trying to get a result, but it's based on a shaky foundation. So you never get the result. If you do, it's temporary at best. So what is the remedy? Well, the good news is that there is a way to remedy this. It is proven and it gets you lasting results. Do you mind if I share with you about the program that will support you in building the business foundation? Yeah, that will give you the business that you want, give you profit, give you time off. So what is it? Well, it's called Know Your Customer, Grow Your Business, and it's a 7-step program that walks you through everything you need to hit refresh on your business, refresh on your energy to grow your business, create marketing and sales that work like magic. These 7 steps will build you a business that you absolutely love. It's my promise. So grow your business, know your customer, grow your business is for you if you've been in business for a few years but you're feeling burnt out, you're not seeing the profits you need to be sustainable, your personal and family life is suffering, you long to take holidays but never feel that you can. You're busy networking, you're doing social media, writing a blog, nothing is working as you want it to. You've been doing what you see other people doing and wondering why it doesn't work for you. And you worry each month about the bills and long for the day when that isn't a constant headache. You get new customers, but after a while they seem to go somewhere else and they don't refer. So you will discover, as soon as you say yes, you will have access to all the preparatory materials and exercises. And this is what Laura said about doing the program. I found when you gave the flat tire exercise, I was able to picture myself in that story, and then it just clicked. And I could see my ideal client, and I knew what they needed to hear from me. Before that moment, there were lots of unanswered questions, but now it all makes sense. And the web development company, Leanne, said, bringing Bridget in from the beginning to coach us in the early stages has been extremely beneficial for us. I cannot begin to explain how important and transformational. We can measure clearly the benefits from working alongside Bridget by the quality and size of the projects we are now taking on. Bridget is truly inspirational to work with, and I can be contacted to discuss this. Another client, Diana, mortgage broker. After identifying her ideal clients, she won fastest business growth in her sector 2 years in a row. And she won National Customer Service Excellence Award. But maybe best of all, her net profit increased by 93%. So this is what my clients have achieved after learning and applying the principles. And if they can, you can. And it's important to say it won't happen overnight, but it will happen. And for those of you who are not New Zealanders, that's a saying from a very famous shampoo ad. So in the program, you will discover the #1 key to getting new clients, 3 most powerful actions you can take right away to get new clients, and 3 long-term strategic marketing investments. And you'll learn how to waste less money and time on ineffective marketing, how to market to the right people, how to be able to deliver awesome, referable customer service so that you can make more money, attract lots of the right kinds of customers, ones you really, really like. You can increase your net profit, 93% is pretty awesome. That's net profit is money in your pocket. And you can get your evenings and weekends back to spend with the people that are really important to you. And you'll find that you enjoy your business, your life, and your work again. So this is what's possible. Doubling your business billing in 90 days, up to 93% increase in net profit, growing faster than anyone else in your industry, attracting great team members, going from no leads to 15 clients in 13 weeks, doing 50% more business in 5 months than you did in the whole of the previous year, and attracting the perfect clients you have had your eye on for years. This is just some of what my clients have achieved after learning and applying the principles. And as I said, if they can, I believe in you. I believe you can. So you will be able to enjoy your life and your business. Oh, and I haven't forgotten about that #1 tip that I promised to give you, the one thing that transformed my entire life as a business owner. It can transform yours and give you back your weekends. And if you've already got your evenings off, as I said, take Friday off as well, or use that day to increase your income by 20%. So what is it? What is my program? An easy to follow online program. You get all the worksheets and templates covering every step of the process. You get video trainings and MP3 recordings plus transcripts available to you 24/7. You get guidance from me in working through the exercises. All you have to do is send me a message and I will answer your questions and your queries. So you have my feedback and guidance on your work as you work through the program. And these are exercises that you can use again and again every time you decide on a new product to take to market or a new service that you want to market. So, know, attract, sell to, and serve your ideal customer equals dollars in your business, net profit. So, don't let fear stop you anymore. Yeah. If you're thinking about this, please do this little sum for me. How much money did you get last month? How much money did you make? And when you've got that figure in your head, answer this. How much would you like it to be? And when you've got that one, perhaps you need to write these 2 figures down. Subtract the first figure, that's how much money you made, from the second figure. And then you've got a number there. That's the dollar amount it's costing you every month not to get this handled. Yeah, not to get this handled. So if, for example, perhaps you want your business to generate 100K, and you just get past the $4,000 a mark. Yeah, so that's over $4,000 a month it's costing you. Over $4,000 a month it's costing you. My private one-on-one clients pay $5,000 to work with me for 5 months on this material. And whilst that's not an inexpensive investment, they're happy to pay that because they know the upside return on investment it's bringing them, or at least 10 times that amount. Yeah, at least 10 times 5,000. So it's really a no-brainer. Still, I know that that's not affordable for many small business owners, and that's why I created this program just for you. So you can get my guidance at a fraction of the cost of private coaching and still have my feedback and support every step of the way. The tuition for Know My Customer, Grow My Business program is only $897. That's New Zealand dollars. So if you're listening to that in Australia or America, it's a real bargain. Why? Why am I doing this? Because I really care about small business, service-based businesses, and I'm committed to them having a business that supports their life and their family and their dreams. How does New Zealand dollars 897 compare to your figure, $4,000 a month, for instance? Isn't it time to take action? How much longer are you going to let your current situation continue? And if not now, when? And if not this program, what are you going to do? Do something. You don't have to have it all sorted to move ahead. Just deciding that you're going to move ahead is the first step you must make. So if you click on that link on the screen there, it'll take you to the button where you can get started right away. Or let me tell you about some of the bonuses that I've included in the program. Yeah, I've included an ebook, How to Create a Profitable and Effective Sales Process, which is valued at $97. I've included a special report, again valued at 97 New Zealand dollars, on how to create a six-figure business. And I've included a program called Learn Effective Networking Skills, valued at $495. So these bonuses I've included are nearly as much as the value of the program itself, or the price of the program itself. And I've included them just to help you get over the fear of investing in your businesses. These bonuses are worth nearly as much as the program, as I said, and you know I'm not trying to convince you to buy if this doesn't feel right for you. But if it does feel right and you want to give it a go, here's my guarantee. Buy the program, do the exercises, attend the webinars, get my help. And if you're not satisfied that you've identified your ideal customer and how to talk to them in ways that tap dance on their buying motivators, then let me know and I'll refund your money. You keep all the worksheets, everything. Yeah, that's my guarantee. So it's really, really safe for you to decide to do this program. You can't miss a training. Everything is there for you 24/7. You do it at your own pace. The steps are easy to follow. You can watch the video, read the transcript, listen to an MP3, and anytime you have a question, you ask me. It's hosted online in a program called Jigsaw Box, but you don't need to worry about that. Only you see the answers, your answers to the work, and me, of course, if you want my feedback on my work. I've made it as affordable as possible so you can get the benefit of my support at a fraction of what my private clients pay. You can buy later, but you know, this is the price on this training. No, it doesn't matter if you miss a webinar. They're all recorded and uploaded into the program. Now, let me tell you about the tip. Let me give you the tip. The tip is to block out your time. So let me explain what I mean by that. What I mean is that I learned from my coach to put aside one whole day a week for working in my business. That's doing the stuff that I call, you know, the admin stuff, the management stuff in the business. I put one whole day aside for outreach, that's marketing work, anything that puts me in front of new prospects or clients. Whether it's running a training webinar like this, whether it's building new material, anything that's about marketing. And I spend 3 days a week coaching. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I coach. And what that means for my clients is it's never more than 24 working hours before they get a reply from me if they email me or phone me. So blocking out time transformed my life. I no longer juggle appointments. I know that on Mondays I'm working in my business, anything to do with admin or setting up processes or anything like that, working with my virtual assistant. Wednesday is about outreach, marketing, bringing on board new clients, doing engagement, enrollment conversations or exploratory discovery sessions. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I work doing the bit that brings in the money. And this is based on a principle that was taught by Buckminster Fuller, 70-20-10. I'll talk more about that if I'm working with you. So if you're ready to get started, this link will take you to where you can sign up. I'd love to see you doing this program and to help you grow your little business into something that brings you great joy, a fabulous income, and real fulfillment. Thanks for being on the webinar, the training webinar. I absolutely appreciate your presence.